Mommy, the Hero Factory is burning my eyes!
Don't worry, I'll protect you.
You will not stop the Hero Factory!
Ow.
Welcome to a new episode of the Canadia Reviewer. I am the Canadia Reviewer, and this time we are taking a look at Kre-O Belt Changes Optimus Prime. There's a few things you have to consider before I actually review this toy. First off, it's really tricky to pull off a Kreon that can actually transform without removing the parts, much like the micro changes. In the 10 years that Transformers has been doing like brick-based Transformers, that includes BTR, they've never really done a fully transformable figure, so this is a huge step up, and something we've been asking for a long time. I think they could have done better, personally, but this is also... they're trying to make these into the Kreons, because the Kreons really sell for the lineup. So anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Optimus Prime. Before we take a look at the actual toy, let's take a look at the box, because that's everyone's favorite part of the review! Anyways, here is the packaging. Now you might recognize it, or at least its shape. It's very similar to the Kre-O Micro Changers Combiner sets. And they're $2 higher at Walmart Canada at least. I don't get why. But I do like the shape of the packaging, and I do like how it looks. Especially right here, especially with the line of the G1 deco, as well as the white right here. It kind of brings in a little bit of the past and the future with the Transformers packaging. Here's the back of the packaging, just for random shits and giggles. Packaging! So as you can see, this is Optimus Prime in his alt mode now. You're probably thinking, "You ugly!" However, there's a few things to consider. With the normal Transformers of Generations and Masterpiece, the parts made for those Transformers are specialized for a Transformer. These parts are specialized for brick-based sets, and the heads and the bodies were never really meant for this lineup. There could be a few parts that were specialized for this toy lineup, like some of the limb parts. However, they're not necessarily, a lot of this is not necessarily meant for this lineup. They were never really meant for an actual transforming Transformer. So, it's imperfect. It's definitely not perfect. However, I can accept it because I really like what they're doing. If you recall from Built to Rule, they weren't really necessarily good-looking toys. And they didn't even transform. So you just built a Transformer and built it back, and it still looked off. It looked like they had to make those parts specialized to look good for Alt Mode and Robot Mode. However, it never did for both of them. The Alt Mode definitely looked better than the Robot Mode, admittedly, but they never really looked good. With this toy, yes, it doesn't look perfect. However, I can accept it because, again, it's a fully transformable Transformer. Something we haven't really gotten. And even with the Micro Changers lineup, you still had to parts form with that mostly. Taking a look at Optimus Prime specifically here, he's very gappy. Very gappy. Look at the gaps right here. Oh, God, he's full of gaps. I do not like the fact that his legs do not tab in together. I wish they did. I wish they found some way to tab them into each other. And I think I could figure out a way how to do that. Just have a peg sticking out, a hole. There you go. Problem solved. Now, with that being said, it's not like nothing clips into place. The legs actually clip into the shoulders. I actually like that a lot. So, you got that. Look at the grill. You got some silver detail inside there. That actually looks nice. He's got stickers on his chest. Yay, stickers! He's blue and red, abadi abadai, all those glorious colors of G1, and he's even got gunmetal, which looks fantastic. What am I doing? This isn't really creative, but you have weapon storage. Take that, some Transformers that don't. Comparing this to Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, because I seem to misplace my G1 Optimus Prime, I gotta say they actually do look good together, and they definitely look Optimus Prime-esque, so... yeah. Something also cool, the feet flip up. Yay, G1! So with that being said, let's go ahead and transform this character. You know what they say about big hands. So here's Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and I gotta say, for an Optimus Prime, he doesn't look too bad. Yes, he's kibbly around the arms, but I don't think this is the worst kibble we've ever seen. Ooh, am I nodding to Age of Extinction Optimus Prime? I just might be. Go, girl! Comparing this Optimus Prime to the previous rendition of Optimus Prime, one of the first Optimus Primes, and as you can see, the head gets reused for this toy, and, yeah. Although these are a lot smaller than the Kreon Optimus Prime, it is necessarily meant for the Kreon lineup, so I don't know how people are going to accept that. I don't know how many people are actually going to understand that. However, I kinda do in a sense. I see what they're going with this, and it's not bad. No, he does not have the screen chest, unfortunately. And even if they were to apply that to this Optimus Prime, it'd look weird because the truck mode would have 2 windows instead of 1, so I can accept it for what it is. Again, not going for anything perfect, but I think it works well. I think they could have remedied this with, if I flip this up, with making the screen go down here. So you got like a couple of stickers so that when you flip this up, of course it's going to cut off the screen, but at least you had that on the chest. Something else to note is with the combiner sets, they use 2 parts to have a backpack and a chest piece. And I don't know necessarily what you would call these parts, but yeah, with the combiners, the heads seem loose because they would be on this little tiny peg. With these heads, they seem to fit on just fine. Speaking of heads, there is the head without the Optimus Prime helmet, and wow, does that remind you of Beetlejuice at the end of that movie? Saints Row the Third? Just put the helmet on, that looks nice. Ah! I don't understand why one sticker is on this shoulder and not the other, but okay. As far as articulation goes, he has quite a bit of it. It does clash onto everything with the shoulders and the arms and the leg, but his legs, they have free motion, and he's got kind of these wheel feet, whatever you want to call them. I guess they're okay because you turn them to the side and you don't have to move the foot. It's just like that, so... way to go with the thinking. He has a little gun, just a little one. Beep, beep. And overall, I love the colors. It's got a nice bright red and a nice bright blue. It makes it seem very cartoony. So anyways, that is pretty much Optimus Prime in his robot mode. Let's go to my overall review! So overall, would I recommend Kre-O Battle Change with Optimus Prime? I would say I would if you really like the look of it. I know it's not perfect, it's nowhere near perfect, but it's definitely a step up from the Built to Rule and even some of the previous Kre-O renditions. It can actually transform, and it's a Kreon. You gotta remember that these aren't necessarily meant to transform. The Kre-O bodies and the Kre-O heads, you know, these weren't really necessarily meant for this design, for this aspect. But I gotta say, I think they pulled off a pretty good job for what they're doing. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. I am the Canadian Reviewer. I'm going to eat some bacon.